welcome to Seanward Draws. I'm Seanward, and today I'm going to attempt paper cutting ASMR. Wait, that can't be right. Alright, let's see. Welcome to Seanward Draws. I'm Seanward. Today I will be attempting paper cutting art. That makes more sense. Welcome to Seanward Draws. I'm Seanward, and today I'm going to attempt paper cutting art. Now, I say attempt because paper's fragile, and I wouldn't exactly call myself a graceful person. Anyway, paper cutting art ranges from very simple pieces to incredibly intricate designs. And to be honest, it usually looks absolutely amazing either way. The best part is, all you really need to get started is a piece of paper, a craft knife, and a cutting mat. It doesn't take a lot to create some incredible looking paper art. I am very excited to try paper cutting art today, and I hope you enjoy watching as much as I hope to enjoy making this.
Now let's go have some fun!
I started on the computer for this project. This is backwards from how I usually tackle an art project, but I had a really cool idea to recreate the 8-bit Mario from the NES. The problem is my plan would involve some intricate patterns. It's so hard to hand draw a complex pattern over and over again and get it just right every time, but computers handle this type of task with ease. I made a grid, copied the pattern blocks, and pasted them over an image I found online. I printed the image out on both standard printing paper and cardstock. I wanted to see how different each paper would feel and handle cutting. I attempted cutting the cardstock first. My original thought was that the thicker paper would not tear as easily. Instead, what happened is the cardstock didn't cut as easily and tore more often. Standard printer paper worked better for me in the end. If you have any suggestions for what type of paper to use for paper cutting, let me know in the comments. There are a few things that I learned while working on this project. First, I found it helpful to plan out where you will cut before starting. Since the paper becomes more fragile with each cut you make, it is so important to map out where you plan to cut from the beginning. I started at the top right and worked my way down to the bottom left. If I had started in the middle of the piece, I would have had a lot of trouble later on in the project. Also, I found it better to cut out all of the more detailed areas before cutting out the outline. Leaving the border around Mario gave me more places to hold my paper down while making cuts. Another suggestion I have is with every cut you make, be sure to cut from where the paper is strongest and to where the paper is weakest. Whenever you are making a cut, your knife is pulling on the paper, and if you are cutting away from an area with several cuts already, then you're pulling on those very fragile strands. I have torn the paper a few times on this project, and almost every one of those tears is from a time that I wasn't paying attention and I cut in the wrong direction. This actually brings me to another good point. Don't lose focus. You would think that it should go without saying, but if you were cutting a piece with a lot of detailed patterns like this, it can be so easy to zone out. Do your best to stay focused, at least enough to remember to make your cuts in the right direction. This last suggestion is more out of personal preference, and it doesn't apply to every work of paper art. My original plan was to take this piece and put it over a background. I didn't like that very much. I put so much work into cutting out all of those details that it felt like a shame to just slap it on another piece of paper. Instead, I suggest buying a floating picture frame. Again, this won't work for every piece, but for my Paper Mario, I love how it stands out from the wall behind it. And the shadow it casts looks really cool. If you aren't sure how to display your paper art, then try a floating frame. There it is. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this tribute to gaming's most famous plumber. I'm really surprised at how much I enjoyed making paper art. I'm so used to making art by adding things to the page. It was actually really cool to be able to take things away from the page to make art. It's different, it's fun. If you've never tried paper cutting art and you're looking for something new, then I cannot suggest it enough. It's pretty cheap to get started. You can make some amazing looking art, and it's a ton of fun to do. Again, I can't suggest it enough. I hope you try this out. If you do, please share your wonderful creations with me on Instagram at Seanward_draws. As always, if you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the like button and please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, if you know anybody that might enjoy my channel, please share it with them. It really helps a lot. I'll see you next time. Until then, enjoy your art.